What's going on, everybody? I want to talk about why people see benefits from different nutrition lifestyles. Um, or more accurately, I guess, the issues or the misunderstanding I think that a lot of people have with making a change to the nutrition and seeing benefit and then thinking that that is then the definition or that determines what they should be eating, right? The phrase "my body's different" or "everyone's different, you should find what works for you" is really frustrating phrase because it makes the assumption that there is no baseline. It makes the assumption that there is no proper human diet, that everyone literally could eat something different and see benefit. And that is true, but not because of biology or physiology in general. It has to do more with the basics of nutrition in what does nutrition do from a adverse perspective, right? The things that you're doing nutrition-wise that are causing problems, not the things that your body does with nutrition and nutrients when it gets them, right? So there's a difference between how your body works and what you're giving your body to work with, essentially is what I'm saying, right? So everybody's body works the same, okay? If you and I were that different in how our body and our physiology and biology work, then headache medicine wouldn't work for me, but it would work for you. Pepto-Bismol wouldn't work for you, but it might work for me, right? There's the basics of medicine and health interventions make the assumption that everybody's body works the same. Anesthesia, medications, surgery, blood transfusions, the basic concepts and the basic application of all of those things apply to everybody, okay? Because our bodies all generally work the same. Are there differences? Are there various things that genetic issues or genetic differences and environmental things that cause differences and changes? Absolutely. But they do not change the basic fundamentals of how your body works, okay? You have to understand that. There is no body configuration for the general public. There may be an outlier of 0.5% of the population that this works for, right? If someone has a genetic issue that makes them hypoglycemic, then they may literally need to eat carbs in order to survive because their body cannot make glucose properly, okay? Such a small percentage, that's not what I'm talking about when I talk about everyone's body is generally the same, okay? You do not need carbs. Fact, they are not essential, okay? That doesn't mean if you change your diet to an all-carb diet, you won't see benefit, okay? And this is where the confusion is, and this is where the frustration comes in. I talk to people who say, you can't tell people they shouldn't eat carbs because I know someone who went on a vegan diet and they saw all kinds of health improvements. That's awesome. That's fantastic. They didn't see their health improvements because they went vegan. They saw their health improvements because of the things they stopped doing because they went vegan. Okay? They're eating less calories. They're eating less fat. They're eating less processed food. Chances are, if you look at the fit person bias, right, the healthy first person bias, and statistically, chances are they also started doing things more actively to improve their fitness, right? When people make changes to their diet to be healthier, in general, regardless of that diet, there are commonalities across all of them that will include and create some kind of health improvement. Lower calories, right? Less carbs, right? Less bad fat, okay? Less processed food, and usually more activity, more exercise, okay? Those are the things that happen when someone says, I need to make a change to eat healthy, right? I need to improve my health. Those are the things that people do, okay? It doesn't matter if it's meat, veggies, fruit, whatever. There is almost always going to be some initial improvement. That initial improvement could last 3 weeks. It could last 2 years. It could be whatever. The problem is, for most of them, if they are not meat-based, protein and fat-based, and they are high-carb-based, they will eventually flip-flop, and the issues will go from a overfat, body composition, general idea of health, to actual chronic disease and illness, okay? Inflammation increases, body fat increases, muscle mass decreases, bone mass decreases, okay? Hormones get screwed up, and there's all sorts of issues that happen if long-term your nutrition does not include meat and meat animal fat, okay? Saturated fat is needed by the body, okay? You can argue all day long that you know someone who's been vegan for 10 years and they're the healthiest person you've met in your life. If that is actually the fact, and they do not have a single thing in their life to complain about or have a health issue with, then they are an outlier. I do not know anybody that I have worked with, associated with, or has worked with people I've associated with, right? All the different spheres of influence and communication that I have with people. I do not know anybody who has not lived a lifestyle of a meat-based diet who has lasted without having health issues, okay? I know thousands, and I have contact with thousands of people who have reduced, eliminated, whatever you want to call it, carbs and plant-based materials in their food, and are living absolutely incredible lives, okay? Now, I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying that because you don't need carbs, you shouldn't eat carbs. There's a difference. I believe, and I think that in my experience, there is a benefit to carbs from a variety and sustainability aspect for maintaining a meat-based diet, okay? If you want to live optimally, if you want to provide your body with the nutrients you need to survive and thrive, you have to eat a meat-based diet. Meat is more nutrient dense. It keeps you fuller. It prevents you from eating as much crap, right? There are so many more benefits. The first step for most people is removing the bad things, okay? That's awesome. You're going to see benefit from that. If all you do is remove the bad things, but you keep the things that you think are healthy and are not then focusing on nutrient density and satiety, those are your key words, nutrient density and satiety, okay? Another one we can talk about, if you want to add a third one, is bioavailability. Is the nutrients I'm eating, you can eat nutrient-dense foods all you want, but if your body can't process them because your body is not able to break them down and use them, i.e. plant-based foods for the most part, then it doesn't matter how nutrient-dense your food is because your body can't use it, okay? So nutrient density, satiety, bioavailability. Those are the three things that you should be determining your nutrition lifestyle on. That's it, right? Am I getting the nutrients? Am I staying full so I don't eat as much crap? And am I getting the nutrients in my body that I'm getting in my food, right? It has to transfer to the body. So if you're not getting those three things, those are the three guidelines I would suggest anybody look at their actual lifestyle. If you decide you want to go vegan, that's awesome. Give it a shot, see how it works for you. Is your food nutrient dense? How do you know if you're getting nutrient dense food and if you're getting food that's keeping you satiated, and if your food is bioavailable? There's a lot of research that's been done. There's a lot of things out there you can find on the bioavailability of food, the nutrient density of food, okay? Remember, when we talk about nutrient density, we're talking about nutrients to quantity of food, okay? Not calories. There's a lot of misinformation out there about, oh, there's this much nutrients and this many calories of food. Who gives a crap, okay? The idea is not to be focusing on calories. The idea is to be focusing on packing as much nutrients into a amount of food as possible, Okay, 6 ounces of beef versus 6 ounces of kale. What is the nutrient options between the two of them? Okay, beef is better, by the way. And you don't need to eat 4 bowls of kale, right, in order to get the same thing, right? So look at that stuff. You are not that different from me. You are not that different from all the other people in the world. Most of your issues, if you're using nutrition, because food is medicine, if you're using nutrition to try to fix health issues, most of your issues can be, and for many people, are resolved by living a meat-based lifestyle. They can also be temporarily resolved by changing to a plant-based lifestyle. That does not equal plant-based is the optimal human diet.